Good afternoon. It gives me great pleasure today to be able to give feedback on the first national conference on adolescent health and development in Nigeria, which began a few days ago with a pre-conference, and today is the third day. We'll be closing today, but hopefully in 2 years' time we'll reconvene again and we would have had better evidences, better programming and better results from our states. The conference as a whole has been really a learning process for me as a young woman and as a civil society practitioner in Nigeria. I'm really impressed with the quality of work that is being done by development partners, civil society organizations, and few states in the country, and hope that other states will be able to emulate. A particular section of interest to me is a section that focused on youth, sexual and gender-based violence, and the two main speakers for that session was myself, Priscilla Usiobaifo, who works as the founder and executive director of Brave Heart Initiative for Youth and Women, a youth-led, youth-focused, non-governmental organization at Igara, rural Edo State. Also, we had Zubeida, who came from United Nations Population Fund, and who also shared the work that they do around gender-based violence, especially in the northeast region of Nigeria. This session really highlighted issues that we often do not even know how comprehensive that they are. Oftentimes, those of us in the southern part of the country sees this issue of gender-based violence in the northeast as a northern issue. But looking at it holistically yesterday, it really showed us that as a nation, most of the things that happened in the north has a cross-cutting effect in other parts. A typical example is a young person or a teenage girl in the northeastern part of Nigeria, torn by war and all the other conflicts that happens, and this child is trafficked all the way from Borno to Edo State for sex work or for child labor, and child trafficking have increased because of this insurgency that have been happening. Also, we're able to share practical experience of how issues of sexual and gender-based violence has been tackled by civil society organizations like Brave Heart. We had the opportunity to share the steps of intervention and even did a cost analysis of what it takes to intervene in a singular case of sexual abuse or gender-based violence. And we looked at emerging issues such as corrective rape, such as cyber fraud, cyber crime among young people, uploading of nudes by teenagers and teenage boys. We also looked at other issues of poverty that predisposes younger people and children to violence. A typical example is a family of 9 who lives in one room, and all the exposures that children or such families have to be exposed to. We looked at other vices that contribute to sexual violence. A core one was the issue of drug abuse and how drug-related violence fuel date rapes in our communities. We really hope that in the forthcoming sessions or forthcoming conference of 2021, we will not just have this as a side panel, but rather we'll have it as a big plenary session where most of these issues will be broadly shared by partners. I will hope that some of the strategies that we are deploying would have had results to be able to share, so that people will know what the best practices are, what works and what do not work, to be able to inform us for more effective and efficient programming for sexual and gender-based violence programming in Nigeria. It's been a pleasure speaking with you this afternoon. Thank you.